you listen and people tell you about the brook, Brislington Brook. You then think, well, where does it go? Where does it come from? And then you realise it comes through Whitchurch, down over Dundry.
As the brook leaves Brislington village, it goes down the back of Boucher's garage. Still call it that, in as much that I don't know who owns it now. It then goes past what they call, I think it's called the engine house. And this was the old engine house for Brislington Colliery. So there was a small colliery here with a shaft.
For all intents and purposes, as far as I'm concerned anyway, and as a valley as such, runs from, should we say, Brislington village, the old square area where the Bath Road cuts through Brislington, and runs from there down to the feeder canal.
When you come to think of it, Nightingale Valley, as far as I'm concerned, living here more or less all my life, is from the bottom of Addison Road through to St Anne's Woods. And the end of it is the railway, or St Anne's Woods. It goes finally into the Avon, is that right?
Known it's Hardings Woods to the people that lived in that area. St Anne's Estate or the Sutton Estate, mainly the Sutton Estate, that was our playing fields. And it was always known as Hardings Woods.
Valley, which I suppose you would call nowadays, went back. And of course the station was the other side, St Anne's Station.
Crossing Allison Road was going to a new world. You know, that's St Anne's over there, and this is Brislington over this side.
We nicknamed it, on the Sutton Estate, we called it the Hayfields. That's what we call it, the Hayfields.
Yeah, growing up was an adventure, and one of the biggest adventures that I can recall was the Hayfields and St Anne's Woods.
To go up past the Wick House and to go down Hardings Woods from that area, from that way, or go down where Allison Road is now, was just fields, we could get to it that way. Or go up, as I say, Wick House, go down through that way, or get to it. I mean, it was a different world,
It's still very much the same. It's still, you go down towards the old bridge and the ford, and you've got the pylon, you've got the Red Hill up to Broomhill. That area there is still very much the same. I haven't seen a lot of change. That path was always light.
In Nightingale Valley, it was tremendously less or more wooded than it is now. That hasn't changed very much. St Anne's Wood, in my recollection, has closed over a lot more. It was more of an open space than it is now.
We used to walk from time to time after church. We'd walk down to St Anne's Woods and walk around the woods, which were always well maintained and that. There would be seats there, and down to the 3 ponds at the bottom.
St Anne's Woods, yeah. That was woods really kept up to scratch. The railings painted regular. Of course, there no need to repair. There's no cars going into them then. They used to have these different little things. There's one massive bluebells in the season down there.
Well, I would say Hardings Woods and Brookley, or the Hayfields as we called it, right the way through to Nightingale Valley, where the railway line is, and the tunnel is, haven't changed a lot. I would say the stream, I could go down there now, probably be a bit overgrown, and show you the different little places we used to camp out and go swimming, because of the water was, 2 foot deep, whereas the other was, but it's always been like a clean stream. I know that at one period people were dumping stuff in there, but that from Allison Road through haven't changed. But when I come to think of that old red church, St Cuthbert's, if you came up Sandy Park, Wick Crescent was there, and St Cuthbert's Tin Church, corrugated small church, was there on that corner, and then that was fields. That was all fields, a big valley.
At that time, you'd walk up First Avenue and onto the top on the Birchwood Road, and you were basically out in the countryside.
A lot more building has gone on, particularly down in the Rock area, which used to be quaintest, beautifulest little hamlet you can imagine.
To me, Hardings Woods and Brooklyn, when I was a youth, to me would be like moving to my favourite place in the world today, Mallorca. To come from Bartnell out to a place like that, with fields, Victory Park, as it is, I was up there last night as a matter of fact. To think of that area and where we were all on Dambeezes, there ain't a place in the world I want to live. To me, that is heaven itself.